Hello everyone. I'm sorry about the fact that I am late. I had to do some important stuff. I'm sorry that I was late for 20 minutes, but hopefully next time I won't have to do that again. So today I will be talking about how I had a meeting today with my mom, and it was two people that we met. They drove from London. They're from Latvia, and they drove from London to Southampton in order to learn from us. They asked us how to make £20,000 from the beginning, and it was a man and a woman, and they're married. So, the man at first, like most of the people, he was just there to listen, and he didn't really care about it. He just came to, his wife said, "Oh, we have to go to this place," and then he was like, "Okay, well, whatever, I'll drive us there." And he didn't get much of sleep either, so that's another reason why he didn't really care. And his wife was talking about how she didn't like how her life is going right now. You know, she's talking about how both of them just wake up in the morning, go to work, and go home, do whatever for like 2 3 hours, and go back to sleep. And then that's the cycle that keeps on repeating. And then obviously, sometimes once a year or 2 year, 2 times a year, whatever, they go on a vacation, and then whatever. So, what happened then? After that, my mother showed them how to use different strategies and how to make the amount that the the man wanted. And after my mom started talking about that, he finally started to listen to what she was talking about. My mom, what was talking about, and he finally started listening. So what does that mean? That means that all your decisions come from your mind from the beginning, obviously. But what you should think about that you can't, that you guys all think about what you can't, and then only then that you start thinking about how, right? But what you should drop that whole thing, all right? What you should start doing is thinking that you can, and you should start thinking of how to do it immediately. Yeah, you should think that it is possible and that you can do it. So then you should make a plan of how to make it into reality, right? Well, that is the first thing that you should do. Instead of thinking into like right now, let's say for example, this is the first time you're listening to this to this live stream. I forgot to introduce myself. Sorry about that. My name is Oleg Stirenkovs, and I am 19 years old. I've been in cash flow for about 3 years, and I do these live streams about every single Thursday at 8 p.m. Sometimes I won't do them because only because I am busy. So this time I was also a little bit busy. That's why I was late by about 20 minutes. Sorry about that. My friend's calling me. So that's the reason why I was late by 20 minutes, but then I still decided to come online and do this meeting so that you guys could learn a bit and understand what I'm talking about. So after you have finally decided to finally change your mind, and instead of listening to me and thinking, "Oh, I don't care what he's talking about. It's some scam, some pyramid scheme, whatever," you should start maybe thinking about how this could possibly be something that could change your life and that it could be possible. And then you should try and to make that and listen to me. At least listen to me, you know? You don't have to, I'm not going to force you to make a flow of £1,000 or whatever. I'm not going to force you to do that. The only one who can do force you to do that is yourself. All I do is I introduce Cashflow to you. I explain what it is to you, and that's it. After that, it's your decision to make a flow, to sit there like a lot of people talk tell me and my mom how they were just listening and watching us for like 3 years or whatever, and decided to finally, after 3 years, to finally just talk to us. You know, just talk to us. They Most of them do finally then also make flows, but it is kind of crazy that you think about how they are sitting there for 3 years and they're just sitting there just listening to me. You know how much money they could have made with those 3 years that they were sitting there and thinking that this is some kind of scam or something. So all I hope is that you listen to me and then you understand what I'm talking about. Okay. So after you've changed your mindset, you should you can what you should think about is what you can start from, right? Lots of people started from fast flows, start flows, growing flows, but that doesn't matter because they all started from somewhere. But I suggest today that you start from all three of the flows. For example, let's say you take a random number, £1,200, whatever. You then put it into a fast flow and you make £102, right? Yeah. And then you put £50 of that £102 and then you can put it into growing flow. And after a week, you make a start flow. The most important thing that what I just said about is that after you've made those three flows, you will understand at least a little bit of how investing works and how to make a profit in our system. If you want to, you can easily calculate and make a decision on giving away your money into our system, because lots of you know throw away your money into these random things like, oh, today I was walking around and I saw this little fidgety toy that's like 20 quid and I decided to buy it, right? You know, you can do whatever you want with your money, but I ain't gonna force you to do anything with it. But instead of buying these useless items, you know, you could put it into a cash flow and you'll not only make money, guaranteed, you also understand how to invest and how to multiply your money with cash flow. So after you've done that, you understand how money works in our system, at least a little bit. Of course, you can also watch more videos, or you can even call me, and you understand how to multiply that money. Because why am I talking about this? Is because most of you don't understand how investing works. You know, first you need to give your money away, even if you are scared. You know, because I've heard a lot of times that people are scared. You think about a week or two ago, there was this one woman. Well, she was elderly. I didn't ask her how old she was. She was probably around 50s or something like that. And she wanted me to make a Revolut account for her in order to take money out or may put money in. And obviously, I did it for her. But she was so scared for some reason. You know, she was. It was like a question of please give us your email, and she would write her email in after asking me, and then also after asking me if she should put her email in, she then asked me if she should click on the button continue. So many of you guys are so scared. So for some reason, you think money is literally like the most precious thing in life. Some of you guys value money more than anything in this world, you know, and that's not how you should think about it. You should be more than be able to put your money into something if it means that you're going to get the money back. So, 1 second. So, why am I talking about this? Because I have about I've invited about like seven friends. One of them thought he listened to me for like 2 seconds, and then he decided that he didn't say it out loud. This is definitely a scam or anything. But after I have told them all about it, I was texting him to it about how cash flow and whatever. He just read it, and he didn't even like say anything back. So he probably thought that was a scam. I have another friend that yeah, another friend. He invested 150 quid into it. I think he made it like a 30 pound start. I mean, not start for a fast flow, and then about 120 pound growing flow, maybe 100. I'm not sure. And after that, you know, he clicks the button every day for the fast flow, growing flow, but he doesn't want to put more money back because recently I found out that after he put his first money in that 150 pounds on the first time, his girlfriend shouted at him, and she was really mad at him because she thought, I don't know, maybe she thought it was completely a scam or whatever. I'm not sure. And then I have another friend that put another 150 pounds in or something like that. He made a fast flow, I think it was just a fast flow for 150 pounds. And then after that, he decided, oh, my bad. He didn't decide. I think about maybe 20 days later or something like that, he decided that he wants to take all his money out because he didn't have any money left. So obviously, you know, that's not gonna be how most of you guys get into, the problem. But he doesn't have any money left. Okay, so it's not his fault. He decided to take all of the money back. He even asked me for a £20 loan because he needed to pay off his car insurance. So obviously, I had to give that to him because obviously, he's the one who drives me to gym all the time. So obviously, I'm gonna give him that £20 because that means I get to get a free ride to gym every time. It cost me about 12 quid on Uber, so obviously, I'm saving myself with some money. But what I'm talking about here is that you guys, most of you, put in 150 pounds. Some of you put less. Some of you put a little bit more, and then you think that next month you'll be making about 1 million and you'll get that dream car that you wish for and whatever. But what you need to learn is investing what investing is all about in our system and every other type of investing, because the investing that isn't in our system is obviously a little bit different. In our system, you put money in and you guaranteed money back. You get different types of investings. You got stocks, you got crypto, even some of you even gamble money, like one of my friends does. He'd rather gamble money, and I literally saw him put like 200 pounds in, the same guy that his girlfriend was mad about putting money into it, and now he doesn't really want to put money in because she's gonna shout at him or whatever. But I just literally saw him not long ago. We were in a restaurant together, and he literally put in £200 into gambling, and he literally lost it in all in one game of blackjack. In cash flow, he would have put that £200 in, whatever he put, maybe make a start flow or a growing flow, doesn't matter. He literally would have just put money into cash flow. He would have made money, but no, he decided that gambling was definitely a better decision, and he threw away £200 just like that. So yeah. So what I'm saying is that you guys that, especially you guys that think that gambling money all the time. I feel so many people like gamble money. It's like crazy. Like I had a friend whose dad always used to buy lottery tickets. I've had lots of friends who went to gambling. Like one time they all went to a casino to gamble money. Like, bro, like, gee, just put some money into cash flow where you're guaranteed money back. But no, obviously, you'd rather something that would either has a 50-50. You make money or you lose all your money. What kind of thinking is that? So all of you, so also, and then some of you guys think putting £150 in, whatever, you will get millions of pounds later. What are you guys thinking about? Obviously, if you put 150 quid in, about a month later, you probably make about, I don't know, 400, depending on what you're doing. But what you guys should learn about is investing, because even investing £150 into anything else is not going to it's not going to make you a million the next month. Because, well, unless if you are literally the luckiest man ever or whatever, and you go to say gambling, and then you just keep on putting 150, you win, and then you keep on going until you make a million. But because that's the only way to make a million, if you have what you're going to put in is 150, right? So yeah, and then lots of you that are not in cash flow, not in our system, how your guys' life go is you go to work after. Some of you make money daily, some of you make money weekly, or some of you make money monthly. Whatever, however you make your money, you make your money, and you spend your money, and then your money's gone. Okay. Some of you maybe decide, oh yeah, and then I will. Some of you get your money, like one of my friends. You make your money, you put some of it into your savings, and then you spend it out, and then that process repeats all the time. You know. But then, even for the people that put their money into savings, last time I checked, I think one time Revolut was trying to tell me to like start saving on using Revolut, and the worst part about that one is that the better your the better like membership you have, whatever you want to call it, it's like metal cards or like black cards, whatever. The better one you have, the more percent you get. I think you went all the way up to 6%. 6% is amazing money. 6% a year is just wow. And then the best part about it is that 6% you will get it after a whole year, and the worst part is you're also gonna have to pay up £50 every single month. So you gotta calculate how much that 6% is gonna get you, minus that £50 you're paying up every single month for 12 months, and that is just crazy money. Unless if you literally have like millions in your savings account, I'm sure that you're probably losing money. Or there's other, of course, invest savings, and obviously I'm not sure how many percent you're getting. But the funny part is that you literally, for example, growing flow, let's say you make a £300 growing flow. On the very first day, you make the flow, literally click the button accrue reward. The first day you get 3%. That is like most of your guys' percentage literally done in one single day, and after that you get another 0.01% every single day. So 10 more days, 0.4, another 10 more days, 0.5, and it keeps on going. My bad. Well, my bad. I'm not calculating it right, but yeah, I'll go more into detail on that one. Some on my YouTube video. Yeah, we are more into detail on that one. I completely just forgot how growing flow works. I'm sorry, I've had a little bit of a busy day today. So let's continue. So literally, you get that percentage in growing flow where first day. You get actually now I've remembered now. You get 0.3%. Of course, that is less. That is obviously like 10 times less than what you get in that free year. But of course, it then also goes up by that 0.01% every day. And also, the one thing that I've just realized and I've remembered is that when you have, for example, I think it was £50 you put in, after you've put in that £50, you get not 3%, not 5%, not even 20%. You get all the way up to 50%. For £50, you get 50%. £100, you get 60, so on and so forth. I'm not exactly sure how much the percentages are after 100. So, literally 50%. If you guys get 5% every single year, that means you get literally 10 times of how much you get a year using growing flow rather than your savings that my friend is literally doing as well. And I tell him all about growing flow every single time, and this guy just thinks that I am delusional and I am not the wrong. I am completely wrong. You know, he literally knows about me and my family. He's a close friend and stuff. He knows so that we make nice money and everything, and that my mom literally only works on this. And then he still thinks that I'm some kind of liar and I'm trying to scam him from all from his £30. So, well, 1 second. So yeah, instead of waiting on that 5% you get next year from your savings account, or was thinking that you're going to get some kind of money from investing into crypto, whatever, how about you, instead of, and also the people that have put in £150 into cash flow, how about you pattern up and you put in, for example, 3,000, or you up 3 to 5,000, even more. Yes, of course, I understand some of you cannot do that. You know, you guys don't make enough, and I understand. You know, I used to also my family used to also think that 3,000, 5,000 is literally crazy money, because obviously 90% of our money used to go to like for the rent for the house, and then obviously you do whatever else you do with the rest of the money. But if you have the money, like my friend, he literally has like 8,000 in his savings or something. Stop playing around with all these other stuff and put it into cash flow, because you're going to make money, guaranteed, 10 times more from whatever else there is out there in the world. The only way to make more money than using cash flow is by using luck, or having to sit on the screen, or literally invest 99% of your time into a business. And that obviously also is like gambling, because you could literally lose your money or whatever, you know, or you could be making a little bit, like 70% of the businessmen that we have met. You know, they all these. Literally, I remember how it was a trend at one point on Instagram, talking about how um, what was it? It's like people who go to school and then uni are like stupid, and you should make a business because that's the only way to become a millionaire or something like that. You know, obviously people who go to school and then uni become doctors and all that stuff. Obviously I am more than grateful to you guys. You know, the guys who become doctors, the guys who become especially like cleaners. You know, all you guys, I'm so thankful to you guys because you're doing the job that I do not want to do. Because the only job that I want to do is cash flow. Because all I have to do is talk about it, and then at 7 p.m. I have to click. Well, let's count 1, 2, 3, about 12 buttons, and I make money. And that's my job. My job is literally opening up and closing my mouth, and then clicking about 12 buttons, and then I make money. And I live a good life, and I live in a life of freedom. I go wherever I want, whenever. The only times I am busy is if I am talking about cash flow, or I am driving. I have driving lessons, or if I am out with my friends. That is literally it. That's my base for you. Literally done. Is my whole week is about either talking about cash flow and making money by talking about it, pressing buttons. My other part of the week is driving lessons, and my other part of it is 70, like 50% of it is literally just having fun. That's it. That's my life right there. But so most of you guys have your life is 70% work, and then 30% whatever you do, 20% of it goes to sleep, and that is it. So guys, if you do let's say invest at 35,000, you'll obviously see that you're gonna make way more money. For example, growing flow. I am exactly not sure how much it is. Actually, I'll search it up for you. 1 second. I'm doing this on a computer, so unfortunately, I won't be able to show you on the stream exactly itself. But I could show you my phone on my phone screen, for example, right here. If you put in 3,000 into growing flow, it says, can you see it? Yeah, you cannot see it. You're just gonna have to trust me, or you can even do better. You can click on the link. You can find a link on my YouTube channel, or maybe down on the comments on this live stream, whatever. And you can go and cash flow yourself, and then you can find out all of the information you want. You can watch my YouTube channels on the information that I go into more detail about. So it says here, after opening up a flow for 3,000, you receive 5,808 for the first 6 months. After the first 6 months, right? Obviously the flow says is going to be working for 6 months, but if you put money back into it, it will be working for infinitely, obviously depending on how you're putting the money back in. And also it says after putting the 3,000 pounds, you also have to deposit 12 pounds. Also, I mean 12 currency. My bad. I want to also give a warning to you guys that do decide to put in a decent amount of money, like 5,000, whatever. Is first before after you find out what type of flow you want to make sure that you have enough money for your currency later, because lots of times I tell people, oh yeah, I tell them more about cash flow, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I'll make £1,000 growing flow, and then I'll be like, okay, and then I'll tell them like, oh, you also need like I don't know, like £100 worth of currency or something like that. I don't know how much it is exactly, and then they'll be like, oh, okay, I was, and then like yeah, like guys, you gotta understand. First, you make the flow, for how amount that you want to make. Then you also have the pool day currency, because if you don't pool day currency, you will be missing money. You will lose your money. So you find out what flow you want, for how much you want, and then you find out. You literally can click on how to manage. I'll tell you how to create and manage cash flow effectively. You scroll all the way down, and then you can look at all the examples for each flow, and it always will tell you how much your currency will need. So here it says £3,000 growing flow. You'll need 11.50 currency. That's one currency is about £70. So that means you'll need about 840 pounds worth of a currency in order to make the graph work. But the most important thing is after that it literally says equivalent to £3,600. Obviously, the wording is kind of interesting. That's obviously because the translation is probably from Russian or Ukrainian done into English, so sometimes it will be a little bit interesting. So when it says equivalent to 3,600, it means it's taking that 11.50 currency that you just made into 3,600. Obviously, that I told you just now, 11.50 currency costs about £840. But the system gives you 3,600 for that £840. So obviously, that means you're already making profit just like that, because it takes your one currency for £312.99. And that means after 6 months, after 6 months, you make 6,600. After literally 6 months, you'll get 6,600. That is double your money plus another 600 on top. You know? And some of you guys just don't understand for some reason. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you need to learn how to learn more skills. And those skills are about this new digital world in which everyone from our community is that the skill is that our community lives in the digital world, and everyone lives on the profits that they get from cash flow. And obviously, some of them actually like I have a sore throat, my bad. Most of them are even making millions. You know, we have lots of people who are making millions in cash flow. I don't know about you, but and also about the 3 to 5,000, I want to even talk more about it, because let's say Bill Gates, the man who the man who the man who owns Microsoft, the man who owns whatever the names is for Amazon. I don't know even anymore. Elon Musk, whatever those guys' names are for the big companies, I don't remember anymore. They all have invested not even 3 to 5,000. I believe the Amazon guy, he had his parents sell the house that they own in order for him to for 250,000 or something, and then he used that 250,000 in order to invest into his company, which then only then, and after his hard work as well, that believe me, you won't have to do anywhere near as much of that hard work. And then only then he made his millions or billions, whatever, however much he's made. I don't know. I don't really care. So instead of you guys thinking that you're gonna be making millions with £150, start putting in decent amounts of money. and then you'll be making a decent amount of money back. You know, it just makes sense. You put a little bit of money, you get a little bit of money. You put a nice amount of money, you get a nice amount of money back. You put in a huge amount of money, and you'll get a huge amount of money back. And that's how this cash flow works. If you don't have that huge amount of money, what you can do is you can start talking about cash flow to everyone. You can start inviting them to cash flow, and after you've invited them to cash flow, you can make them also make that £150, and if you did that about 100 times or even more, a little bit less, you'll have that huge amount of money that all you and then you can use that huge amount of money in order to make a huge amount of money, you know. Or you can even do something else, and you can invest into a currency. Is gone up by about 2,500% from last year. I believe it costed about last year about £30, and now it costs about 78, and it's still growing. And that means what? It's doubled. It's doubled, or maybe it even costed less. I don't know, but I know for a fact that every time we have a meeting about every 1 or 2 weeks, and someone wants to make a flow, every time we make sure how much the currency obviously costs in order for them to know how much they need to put in. Every time I click on the deals, and then I look for how much a currency costs, every single time for some surprise it costs more. What does that mean? That you can even invest into a currency, and that thing will always go up because each flow that we make needs a currency. That means people that have been investing into Bitcoin sit on their full monitors and looking at the news, the price of it, or whatever. You know, you can stop doing all that. You can stop sitting on the monitor or sitting on your phone every time you go to a restaurant or whatever, checking on the news if you haven't lost all your money. You can start investing into cash flow, and then you'll make way more money, and you won't have to and while you're making that way more money, you won't have to be looking at your screen every single time. You only have to look at it when you're making your flows and you're clicking the clicking a button. That's it. So yeah, that's how people are making millions in our system project community. And and then also, my mom decided to make 1 million next year. And how she gonna do that? She's gonna make those millions using start flow strategy. And before you ask me what is that, I'll answer your question by telling you that next Thursday at 8 p.m. I will be there, and I hope that you're gonna be there too, because only then I will tell you. You know, I'm trying to intrigue you guys into finally understanding that information that I talk about in these meetings are nothing. It's not just some blabbering on. I speak about important information, and I hope that you understand that I am talking about some important information. And I hope that you understand that cash flow is not some kind of pyramid scheme or 99 billion different things I've heard about that is completely wrong. And I hope that you understand what I have been talking about. And I hope that you have a good rest of your day, night, evening, whatever, wherever you are. I hope you're having a great time. I hope you have had a great time listening to me. And I'll see you next Thursday at 8 p.m. London time. See you guys in the next one. Goodbye.